My occasional part-time office. As is often the case, eating, but every single thing here has 2 or 3 stories. As usual, eating, often the case, eating the most revolting food, all the cheapest possible mayonnaise, because for 6 months I've been absolutely on the mission too. Now, why am I a happy person? Because I don't really need anything. Well, there's one thing. It happens at the end of the Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Anyway, to the point. Right. Now, I have in here it's 20 years actually, from 2003 to 2023, the beginning of 2023, before I came to this region. The most superb chronicles, photojournalism, capturing things, and from 2020 they revved up into the most. I know good cinema. I educated myself by Three Colours, If by Lindsay Anderson, and his one of his co-writers said to me the great line. The great line is, the key to life is sticking your finger up with a clean fingernail. Now, I have so much material, and over the next rest of life, I will be working through some of those and turning them into ideas for outlines, for little bits of film, books. Really, books is my thing. Yes, Lindsay Anderson, If, Walkabout, and Touchable. I've been sharing that with people lately. They get it. It's magnificent. Captain Fantastic. Even a bit of La Grande Bellezza. No British film director would do as Sorrentino did with Jep and friends gathered on the balcony of the Rome dinner party. The problem is, all of us, nobody else, us, we have become, I can't quite remember the words, but decadent, corrupt, and of course their best word, dilettante. That is the real problem. No British film director would do that. It's all about made up problems in Britain. Anyway, to the point. My chronicle has this morning been of use to somebody. My. I knew she would. To be continued, not my world. Right, but why have I actually turned this on? Yes, to keep organised. Oh, I haven't actually even been able to use the heat the last week or two. So I have a chronicle, plus often I'm so busy just bobbing between possible interesting situations, interesting people, looking for allies. It's always been the same thing, looking for allies. That I keep all sorts of little bits of aide-memoire, pieces of paper, receipts, well, not receipts, not for very much, blah, blah, blah. And they're all kept diligently. I mean, my operation is, even if one gets delayed, because people let you down, people turn out to be not who they say they are. My operation, I mean, it's like, but everything, now, in Britain, problem with Britain, I've got so many photographs of, I had no idea just how, like, this cheesy, infantilized version of, there are so many things that have signs in the window. Be nice, be positive. Excuse me, the report came through a week ago, the butterfly numbers have collapsed. Now, we might have a good year this year, but last year, for insect life, for pollinators, for the first time ever in my life, I would hear people who are proper vegetable growers, maybe even commercials, say that our vegetable crop seems to be suffering. Last year they would be saying this, last summer, and they actually said, I think it's probably because the pollinators are in such trouble. Every single plant, oh my God, look at that. Some pig, I hadn't even noticed that. Right, why did I actually turn this on? Think. So yes, oh yes, now, the problem with the British is that maybe they don't actually understand really good ways of, this has been going on for 200 years, really good ways of telling stories may actually be by telling other stories. Maybe by telling other stories that seem, I mean, here is the ultimate. I have had that with me, I have very little with me. But that's there, in there, it's been hidden away down the side of the van over the winter. That's there to remind me of how the, that's a badger, of how even the more than cheerleaders, we want to be, our Extinction Rebellion buddies are going to save your planet. A family who that was their pitch for some years, and they would in public appear, they would have the Extinction Rebellion stall that they'd co-man, killed, assassinated, did a fucking Holocaust in July 2020 on a massive sanctuary badger set in the hills. That's to remind me, okay? Don't ever, and I knew those people very well, in fact I would have even called them my friends. Okay, in fact 2013 they were the first people who invited me and somebody else, as I'd moved area, to come for a barbecue. It's just, it reminds me, don't trust anybody, although I do have 3 elves who, they'll probably be too busy to actually move forward. Why have I, yeah, in other words, to be continued. Have we got anything else here that's interesting? Not really. Although everything that I do is like, there may be a story to be told, but actually it's telling a more big philosophical, real Thomas Bernard kind of story. Or what's his face? Stendhal. Now, unfortunately, I never quite have the time to settle down and write the things beautifully. I don't. It's a great lament. However, there is nothing better than being truly free by knowing everybody in the past, everybody in the past that lives in this country, there's one exception, everybody in the past was just people-pleasing and faking it. So you just plod along, write up what you are going... I've always planned to be creating story, sharing things, but they must not be pious and earnest. That doesn't work. Okay? I mean, just the stories. I've had so many stories of... Oh, yes, I know why I turned this on. At last. Because being fully investigated and checked out, I have a woman who needs somebody to do some work on her land, and I know she isn't going to turn around. It's not here, it's elsewhere. I know she isn't going to turn around and do energy thieving head games, because I've tested her. So, yes, paradise, literal paradise. If I'm quiet for a little while, that's why I'm just doing that, because if I don't get some money in for an MOT in 10 weeks, I'm fuckaroonied. But we will see. All I do, any work, any money, is merely to enable me to just... Now, I have hundreds of good fun, poignant, bittersweet bits of video with other people. There's somebody in one of my videos who it was time to show that video to somebody, to a true believer, and I will be pulling those out over the next 6 months. Unfortunately, I don't have the spare power to edit them into something that looks nice. I don't know how I've got 480 subscribers to a YouTube channel that I was just actually set up for one specific reason, to share some stuff with one person. But there we go, off we go. Blah blah blah. Is there anything that yeah, that's why I turn the camera on. Yeah, at last. And I've been 25 years. I like to do super nature friendly land looking after. A week or two ago it comes out, the butterfly, yeah, we got to leave a bit wild, and if you use trimmers, etc. Anyway, I like to, and I've at last, I've worked for about 20 of them over 25 years with bits of land that need repairs, defences, gates, etc. That they should do themselves, but no, these are all incomers into my past region. I've no interest in this place, which is just a theme park and all pretend. But my last place shouldn't have been theme park and pretend, but became theme park and pretend. Pretend we're going to be Barbara Good from The Good Life, except Barbara Good had some character. No, this lot, it's all about wellness, supplements. Oh, I've got to spend days on the internet figuring how I'm going to be healthier, which actually means be forever young, when the key to forever young is just putting your head down and doing something. They never do. And they all hate me, because even though I'm very gentle, when one drops in, I kind of did that, saving more or less the Titley Reservoir, the Titley Wildlife Reserve, which has pretty much been saved still from an encroaching development, or things like that. It just intimidates them because they merely perform. This is called dilettante. I don't understand Britain. I have no wish. Waffle. That's about it. Yes. You would not believe the amount of work that's been done preparing this for possible collaboration with one or two who are at least on the same page, for sure. Now I get to eat my grub.